everyone, I'm Kat Carly from the Hub Austin.
And I'm Brenda Laurent from Reach for Success.
And together we are Mama Kat and Gigi.
And today we're going to talk about, I don't want to. Why? What is that? What's underneath that, right?
So frustrating.
I don't want to do my math. I don't want to write 3 sentences. I don't want to, right? Get a lot of pushback from what looks like to us some pretty simple requests. And so I've been talking to a lot of parents, and I hear this come up a lot. And so, for instance, I just asked my kid to write 3 sentences. And I got a lot of pushback. Well, how come? Well, so when you're getting a lot of pushback, if you step back a little bit and don't take this personally, right? That you think to yourself the request was really simple, but how many skills are there that are weak in what you just asked for? So for instance, if you asked a child, especially a young child, to write 3 sentences, well, how's their handwriting? Are they still really struggling with letter formation? How is their spelling? Are they really struggling with spelling all the words? How are lots of things that are associated with that? All those things are on autopilot for you, so writing 3 sentences would be no big deal. But doing certain homeworks are a bigger deal. They don't have the skills.
A really good example of that is the other day in our kindergarten class, we were asking kids to touch their fingers like this. And I was kind of chuckling to myself because it was a lot harder for them than I originally realized.
And me too. And I realized this is what I was doing for a warm-up for handwriting. And they were struggling with this one. So if this was my warm-up,
yeah, how's the handwriting class going to go from there?
Not too well.
Another example of that is in our pre-K class. We were doing a craft that required tearing up paper. And we tell parents all the time, if you're working on fine motor, so you're working on handwriting or pre-handwriting with kids, that climbing on the monkey bars, that cutting, that hole punching, and tearing up paper and clay are all really good ways to develop those skills. Well, our 3 to 4-year-olds had such a hard time tearing up paper, and their moms were all looking around going, and so it's just one of those things where sometimes when you feel like you're asking your kids to do something pretty simple, you have to think about what are all of the skills that they need in order to accomplish that.
You do. And sometimes, it's really easy to just really quickly say, why was that hard? You'd be amazed what just bubbles up right out of their mouths. And they'll tell you why that's so hard. And then you can break that skill down so that it's easier to do it. And Mama Kat, another thing that I feel like that we're kind of missing in a lot of our classrooms is our kids have a lot of anxiety because they see finished products from what other kids have done. And they don't realize that the other kids didn't do that in one try. Right?
Yes, so a really good thing to do is just let kids know, oh, this is a first draft, right?
Absolutely.
So if you're schooling from home, you don't really have to focus so much on grades and giving them, that set number. You can just say, hey, you did so great on this. Can you look at these 3 again? And so instead of getting out your big red marker and kind of, maybe that's a little anxiety inducing for them, just being encouraging and giving them a few pointers on things that they might want to look at again.
And so whenever I say, oh, this is a great first draft, I really love these 3 things about it, right? So you have to be genuine about whatever it is you love. The ideas, or I like that you said this, or whatever. On our next draft, we're really going to concentrate on pick one thing, right? Punctuation, spelling, expanding our sentences. Pick one thing for each draft. Don't try to do several things in one draft. It's just too overwhelming, and it makes it seem like you really didn't think it was that great after all, right?
Yeah. Another thing that I like to do with especially my oldest kiddo is give them a time limit on things. So if you're doing something that they really don't particularly like to do, like for him that's usually handwriting, I just say, okay, for the next 3 minutes we're gonna go do our handwriting, and then we get to do something fun, like he really likes math or going outside to jump on the trampoline or playing a game with you. So setting that time limit lets them know, okay, I don't have to do this forever, because for little kids and sometimes adults too, when you're doing something that you don't like, it seems like it's taking forever.
And it doesn't really have to. So how quickly could you get it done? Let's time it. And then next time we do it, we'll race with ourselves and say, hey, last time you got that done in 3 minutes. I wonder if you can do it in 3 minutes again today. But one of the other things I'm fond of saying is, that's okay. You don't have to want to, right? And if there's no emotion attached to it, half the time they've already taken 6 steps towards doing whatever it is you asked while they're figuring out what it is you just said. You sort of agreed with them, didn't you? Or maybe not. It takes a little while to process that. You don't have to want to.
I tell that to my kids all the time. As adults, we have to do things that we don't want to do all the time. I don't want to do my taxes. So I think it's an important skill that kids also learn, that sometimes we have to do stuff that we don't like to do, and we still have to get it done. So by taking the emotion out of it and just saying you don't have to want to, it lets them know, okay, Mom sounds pretty serious about this, and I guess I better go ahead and get it done.
Absolutely.
If you enjoyed our video, feel free to like it and comment and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye!
Bye-bye.